Democrats gearing up for 2028 and using the State of the Union response as a shadow primary. California Governor Gavin Newsom is telling people he's just trying to meet the moment. And former Vice President Harris even teasing a third run.
Will you run again?
I haven't decided.
You're still thinking about it?
I might.
All right, let's bring in former White House Deputy Chief of Staff and Fox News contributor Karl Rove. Great to have you here in New York.
Thank you. Republicans could be that lucky, maybe. I don't know.
Could Democrats stomach another Harris run?
No, they're not. Remember, she's the nominee of the Democratic Party in 2024, and less than a third of Democrats say they want her to be the nominee in 2028.
I'm so that you're referencing the Real Clear Politics poll. Let's put it up. 2028 Democratic presidential nominee. She tops the list at 28.3%. Gavin Newsom is a close second. And it drops down to Pete Buttigieg, AOC, Mark Kelly, Josh Shapiro. What do you think?
I think it's wide open. It's really early. We're getting a sense of who these candidates might be. These polls are completely meaningless. But the Democrats, they have both talent out there, but they got a wide field. Think about it. Think about the other people who want to run. Pritzker, maybe Whitmer, Rahm Emanuel, the governor of Kentucky.
Anybody
Beshear.
Stand out to you there?
Well, not yet, and I'm not certain they should, but I do know this. Every one of these people is giving off signals that would indicate that they got grave weaknesses, with maybe the exception of Rahm Emanuel. His weaknesses are in a primary. The rest of them appear to be, or most of the rest of them appear to be, weaknesses in the general election. I mean, think about it. She ran a terrible campaign. Gavin Newsom is the governor of a failed state. The governor of Illinois, first of all, doesn't look like a president, and he's presiding over a failed state. And the sort of the Bill Clinton types, that is to say, reformers who've won in red territory. They're people like Beshear, and it's hard to see somebody like that getting the Democratic nomination.
Heck, Pritzker's at risk of losing the Chicago Bears to Indiana.
To Hammond, Indiana, of all places. We're not even talking Indianapolis.
Of all places, right? Here's Gavin Newsom, speaking of which, with his, what appears to be his strategy is to just attack Trump. This is a book event in New York City yesterday.
Trump's in retreat. He is in retreat. This historic president, historically unpopular. His entire economic policy, which was built on a three-legged stool of massive tax breaks for the wealthy and well-to-do on the backs of small businesses and farmers and each and every one of us, mass deportations and tariff, it's all collapsing in real time.
Newsom says Trump's in retreat.
That's in his dream. Look, there's something interesting here. The Democrats who, in my opinion, the Democrats who make this all about Trump are playing to a wing in the side of the Democratic Party. And that may win them the nomination, but it doesn't set up a win for the general election. People want to know what the next president is going to do. Now, there's plenty of time for them to develop that image, but you would think that they would begin to lay that out sooner rather than later. He's doing it, in my opinion, the reverse way. What he ought to be doing is saying, here's the path back to dominance by the Democratic Party, and save the anti-Trump stuff for later.
Is it going to come down to the economy? Obviously, polling shows that this is the #1 concern for American voters today. J.D. Vance, after the State of the Union address, came on Fox News this morning, and he said this about how we are positioned currently when it comes to the economy.
I think we're about to get over the hump. I think that tax season is around the corner. A lot of Americans, because of no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, they're about to get a massive tax income refund. Those construction jobs are starting to hit the economy. Then the manufacturing jobs, once those factories are built, will hit the economy too. So I think that we've got a lot of momentum here.
If it comes down to the economy, does it benefit Republicans or Democrats?
You mean this fall or 2028?
Let's say this fall.
Yeah. Well, I thought this was clean up on aisle 4, and good for Vance to do it. I think I thought the president had the best use of guests of any president that we've seen since Ronald Reagan first did that in 1982. But the problem was he overpromised on the economy. The economy is great. Things are solved. The problem's over. That's not where the American people are. And Vance came out today to lay out the right message, which is we're making progress. We got a lot to do. We understand people are hurting.
I remember standing with you and others on Inauguration Day and thinking in his speech, talking about bringing those prices down because affordability was such a big issue under the Biden years. And, I remember thinking, if you were to focus more on inflation, he'd be following through on those promises. Inflation has slowed greatly, but getting those prices down is an incredible challenge for anyone.
Right.
Yeah, Karl, great to have you here today. Good
Thanks
to
for
see
having
you.
me.
All right, John?